Galesteo still loves adventure, and in this story, he's going to go public. He goes public, all right. 4 years ago, I was a sad and lonely cat, sitting in a cage at the animal shelter. I longed for someone to take me home. Then some people came to adopt a cat, and within 2 hours, I was no longer called Rascal. My new name was Galesteo, thanks to Mr. and Mrs. B, who rescued me and took me to their home. They could see that I was a big orange and white cat with gold eyes who wanted to purr and be pet. They petted and I purred. We became partners. I was in paradise. A few days later, they thought I needed a buddy, so they went to the animal shelter, searching all the cages for my soon-to-be best buddy. They saw a black and white cat with big green eyes, the brightest of the bunch, bouncing against the bars, boldly begging to be rescued. They named him Don Gaspar, and we are truly best buddies. Over the next 4 years, I have had many adventures and eventually ended up grounded. Now I have to stay indoors or stay in an outside mesh cat house castle. I have my own throne on which to sit and stare and sleep. There are times, however, when I wish I were able to roam the streets and alleys like Don Gaspar, who is still a free spirit. Between us, we do share all the spaces in our house and yard, especially the garden. I love it when at special times I'm allowed to wear a leash to play in the yard and chew on the plants. My favorite plant is big and leafy and would be easy to hide in if I got free from my leash and no one was watching where I was or where I went. There is a new adventure for me now, though. It turns out that I've gone public. That's right, public. There is a wonderful cafe not far from our house. It is across from a very old and famous historic opera house. The cafe is in a brick building with tables available both inside and on the sidewalk outside, where people enjoy eating their sandwiches and relaxing. The bees ate there one day and told me about it. They said they had a sandwich called an alley cat. I stared at them with huge eyes until they chuckled and said, "It wasn't a real cat, it was turkey and cheese." I sighed and purred while they pet me. Then they said, "But we could have had a black cat sandwich." My eyes nearly popped out of my head at that remark. Then another big chuckle came and they said, "It was only beef and tomato." I could only sigh and say to myself, "I'm so sorry, Tom and Agnes." Inside, the atmosphere is so relaxing with pictures of cats, shelves with ceramic cats, and t-shirts with fat cats on them. It is actually inspirational. I say that because there are many photos of fat cats. Why fat cats? Because it is the Fat Cat Cafe. And how do I know this? Because my photo hangs right in the middle of the wall for all to see. In addition, it is a photo of my favorite guest, Olivia, a young granddaughter of the bees who came to visit. While visiting, she picked me up for a photo, and that is the picture on the wall. All who come to the Fat Cat Cafe see her with me in her arms, a life like public appearance. Meanwhile, over the past 4 years, Mrs. B has written stories about my adventures. Some of her books told about my sneaking to the library, sneaking in a car, and then hiding in the bushes at Burger King, sneaking down to the local courthouse, sneaking from our yard into the neighbor's roof. That's why calling me rascal at the animal shelter hurt my feelings. Deep down, I was just a sneak. They could easily have called me sneaker, like the old saying that goes, if the shoe fits, wear it. Ironically, Mrs. B recently read the story about the time I sneaked away and spent the day at the library. She read the story to many young children who were attending an art event about kids and pets. After that, I was even more public, as my book was recorded for a local TV show. My personal reward for all this publicity and public attention is that I now have a mesh penthouse in the garden where I can peer into the yard and enjoy my privacy, knowing that my picture hangs at the Fat Cat Cafe, where the patrons enjoy the love that is portrayed in our eyes as Olivia holds me tight. If I could purr 24 hours a day, I would, but even pets have to sleep, especially cats. We're noted for our cat naps. So, my friends, sleep tight. I know I will be happy in my home.